Hey everyone, my name is Tony and welcome back to another quick video. Today we're going to design a sculptural piece for this park model we created in the last video. We'll use a very clean and practical SketchUp workflow with a couple of extensions that can help speed up the workflow and add specific details. Let's dive in. So for this video, I thought I would go on Pinterest and try to find some unique benches that we can put in our park. But ultimately, I settled on these two reference images, which I will use to create this final result by the end of the video. So in our last tutorial, we worked on this model and we were able to go from this to this. So if you want to catch that video, make sure to check the links in the description as well as on the corner of the screen. But in this quick tutorial, we're going to add some unique benches as well as a center art piece that we could use here. And the reason for this video is to show unique workflows to help you solve some creative modeling challenges. This is our final result for this specific model, but let me show you where everything starts. So first we're going to hide all of our trees, our shrubs, as well as all the street lamps. So first things first, we need to identify the center. I'm going to do this fast. I'm going to use a line tool, hold shift to lock on inferencing and align it to the center here as well. So now this becomes the center of this intersection. And here I'm going to press C for circle. I'm going to increase the segment to 45. And I'm going to draw maybe a 4.5 feet along in the center. Next, we're going to right click, find center. And the idea is to always reference the center point whenever we get lost in the model. Okay, so that's a good start. Let's turn this into a group and copy paste in place outside of our current model. Next, let's pull this up by 20 inches. Going to offset this in by 1 feet 6 inches, and this is going to be the sitting area. And repeat pull this up by 1 foot 3 inches for the backrest. So we end up with something like this. I'm going to offset this in by 10 inches, and we can actually bring this down either all the way up to the floor so it's caved in like that. So this is the base shape for our round seat. Now what we can do is we can select the circle, hit scale and press Ctrl so we can scale from the center. And we're going to push this thing up to 0.90. And we'll repeat the same to the bottom circle. So select, activate scale, and hit Ctrl. And I'm going to eyeball it this time to 0.90. So we get a base shape like this. So now I'm going to select the group and I'm going to do something very interesting here. I'm going to create a mass block and I'm going to explain what this is doing in a couple of seconds. I'm going to group this and using the solid tools, and we're going to trim both of these tools. So I'm going to select my first shape, select trim, and select my second shape. So now we're left with just this. We can delete the other pieces. Next, we're going to make this a component. And we're going to rotate and copy this. So hit Ctrl to make a separate copy by 90 degrees and multiply that by 3 to create 3 additional copies. So what we end up with is 4 instances that I can work with. Now from here, we're going to bring on Bevel, which is going to allow us to round corners to this model. This is a very unique extension. So I'm going to come into the settings first and change the rounding to arc rounding so it can give us the most precise. And from here, I can start to mess with these edges. I'm going to make my first selection. We're going to bring this over to 1 inch arc rounding with 6 segments. If you wish to increase, you could just press the up key. So this is 8. So we have something like that. We'll do the same to this piece right here. Now I'm doing this individually because I want separate values for each one of these arcs. Activate Bevel, and this is going to be a little bit of a longer one, so maybe 5 inches at 8 segments. So it looks something like that. This will probably be the shortest. So we'll select again, activate Bevel, click once. You can see the preview right here. I think this is going to be 2 inches with 8 segments. So we have something like that. Now, because this is a component, I'm just going to copy one of these out. And we're going to add rounding to both of these edges as well. do one here first. You can double click to copy the last value. And now we're left with these two pieces, which we can select, activate bevel. And this is going to be a very small bevel around this corner. So this is going to be 3/8 of an inch with 6 segments. So we end up with something like that. But we can always come in here, soften edges, and increase that to 25 so we can get rid of those lines. So now we end up with something like this, which we can add material to, and it looks a lot better. So now let's continue. Come back to our base shape. Once again, offset this in, copy paste outside of the group, and we're going to push pull this to match the height. So we end up with something like this. And one very last thing, we're just going to copy our center point and bring it up here as well. Okay, so next we're going to offset this in as well. And we're going to double click to repeat the offset 2 more times. We're going to push pull this down by 2 inches and double click to repeat until we have this effect. So the next step is going to be pretty important. So I'm going to group this and I'm going to rely on this center point as a reference. So next we're going to use the line tool to create a line that goes up 20 feet and 10 feet horizontally. I'm actually going to change this to a more curvy shape. And we're going to use the arc tool for a more smooth connection. So you should end up with something like this. This is going to be actual component. Now inside, we're going to draw a circle that's at least 3/4 of an inch and activate follow me so that it extrudes along that curve. Let's move this a little bit closer to the edge of our circle. Now I'm going to add a little line here to serve to reference the midpoint of our circle. And I'm actually going to repeat making this into a component. So explode, make component again. And this time we're going to make sure that the axis is at the very center of the bottom of this circle. Make sure all 3 axes are correct and confirm the component. Next, I'm going to create another circle around my center point just as a reference. Delete the face. I'm going to use path array to array this component around that circle. Select my path, my component, group them together, go inside that group, and now this looks a little bit more clean. I'm going to select my path, activate path array, select my component. Now, if you take a look at the bottom, there are a couple of options. We have shift to place without rotating, and you can see how that affects the orientation of the objects, but we're going to press Alt to reverse the path direction so they're facing more of the outside. And now I can kind of rotate to get a better preview of my orientation. And I want as many as I can as possible, and you can see I'm decreasing the spacing between each of those components. I'm gonna land somewhere on 4.5 inches. Should be something like that. Next, I'm going to copy this circle, lock on the blue axis and bring this up maybe to this point, as I want to create something that seems like it's holding this together. And I'm going to offset this in. I'm going to create a circle, delete that face, and with that circle selected, activate follow me, and we have something like that, which we're going to turn into group. And now we have something like this. So this looks pretty good for a park sculpture, but nonetheless, this is how you can use typical tools like the path array and bevel to create something like this. So for now, let's add some materials. You can add some red to these components. And for our bench, actually going to use green color. I'm going to use this green color, go to edit and try to match to the grass as much as possible. So you got something like this. It's in paste, it could be that. So we end up with something like this. It's pretty much our final result, as you can see. And the final step is to add some vines to this entire structure. So I'm going to copy and paste this in place to another file. And I went through the 3D warehouse and got these vine models that I'm going to distribute through the structure. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to depend on manual placement to get this done. So first, we're going to use our circle as a reference. I'm going to simply offset this out. We're going to scale down these models. And we're going to make each of them into a component. Next step, we're going to position the component axis at the very bottom center of each component. And another way you can actually do this is to use the SketchPlus change axis feature. This gives you certain preset points to which you can set the axis to. And this is just another way to set it up faster rather than doing the manual SketchUp native way. Once we do this for each component, we have to rotate it to match the angle of each one of these rods. So I will go inside the first component, and from the bottom center, I'm going to rotate at an angle of 5 degrees. And once that is done, I'm simply going to place it inside. So it's halfway in and halfway out of my model. And I'm going to repeat this for each one of the vine. And once it's positioned in the right place, we're going to use the center point of our circle, and we're going to rotate slightly so it covers a different area of our structure. And we're going to repeat this step until the entire structure is filled. And if we take a closer look at the vines, they're all in different heights, so we can have a little bit of variety. And this is really going to help sell the idea that it's an organic vine growing through the structure. But this is basically what I was going for, and now we're going to repeat the same workflow at the top with this different model. Once again, the idea is to scale the components so that it's a different size from the next. And once again, I'm going to cover a huge portion of this so that I can simply rotate along the entire side of the model. And as you can see, I'm covering as many parts as possible, so it really does feel like the vines are part of this structure. And for now, because our structure is a component, we can actually extend this so it feels a little bit larger. And now that we're done, we're going to group this and copy it back into our main model, so we end up with something like this. Not too bad considering we started from scratch. If you liked this series, which are the last 2 videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel. So overall, hopefully this video helps out for those of you that like creating custom models for your projects. Hopefully the practical tips here will be useful when you create something unique for your own project. And that's going to be all for this video. Hopefully you can see how everything comes together with a couple of SketchUp native tools, Bevel and SketchPlus. As always, the link to those extensions are in the description. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.